Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to test wine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change back to my home directory and do everything from here. Don't know if anything's going to be written into the current directory, so it's just a bit of safety really. I'm going to run wine config first of all. So this should start up wine, or at least the configuration. There it is. Looks very Windows 95-ish, XP-ish. And what I'm going to do under the graphics tab is to change or emulate a virtual desktop and change the desktop size. Let's try 1280 by 900 is probably a bit widescreeny without swallowing up the whole of the screen. And what I'll do now is to run wine console, and that should load a desktop, yeah, with the console in it, yeah, so there it is, and it's emulating Windows 10 by the looks of it. I'll run Explorer now to see if that runs, and it does. So what I'm going to do next in this window, I don't know why that's popped up, was that when I was sorting the recordings out maybe, is I'm going to, I can't do it in that one because it's running. Let's log in as Kernotex to get my prompt up. And what I'm going to do is to copy from sources GLFS the setup program for Factorio, which is the 32-bit version, and put it into wine. Right, okay, so I've got the American keyboard, needs to be set up within TWM for a UK keyboard. So I'm into the home directory .wine, drive C, users, Kernotex documents. I'm going to copy that into there, and that should appear here when it's done. So there it is, just wait for it to finish copying. There it is. So now I should be able to double click on this to install Factorio, and this proves that something outside of the wine application itself is running, and also obviously that wine is behaving the way it should do with this program that was originally intended for a native Windows rather than this wrapper, if you like. So you can see that's installing. And I believe this puts an icon on desktop, so let's move this over and we'll see that being created. Okay, there goes the icon. Let's view the change log and we'll run Factorio in a minute. Just make sure that comes up in a notepad. There it does, and it's loaded the file as well, so that bit works, all behaving as expected. And this looks like the Windows 3 font. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's certainly not a Windows 10 font. I don't know how the versioning works, if it does or it is supposed to target a certain version. I'm not sure, but it's certainly not Windows 10 that I can recall. But anyway, it's loaded, that's the important thing. So I'll close that down. Now run Factorio. Double click on that. Now I seem to remember this crashes initially. I think the error is that it reports that it's run out of virtual memory, but I believe it's a bug with Wine, I think it was. So we'll see how it goes. You can see the output that's come here. This is all information, I guess, from Wine itself. You can see that DXVK is being loaded there. So let's see how this goes. So it looks like putting that window in front might have affected this. I don't know if that's right. I know it's come back, so it maybe needed to update. Well, the disk light is still flicking on and off, so although it looks locked up, it hasn't. And also, I guess because it's going through a wrapper, it seems to me to be a lot slower than running Factorio natively on the Linux system, but I guess that's to be expected. There's another layer of code for it to go through. And therefore I'd expect the performance to be worse as well when the game's actually running. Yeah, so that has crashed. Yeah, out of memory for allocation. But it's not a problem because rerunning it finishes the installation and it does work. Oh, okay, this time it's not loading. Okay, what I'll do this time then is I'll shut down Wine and reload it and see if that helps matters. Okay, no, it's not going to run, so right, let's have a look at my notes. Oh yes, I couldn't get it to run when I was testing it. I've got a notice note here saying that the installation starting is proof enough. So I've installed Factorio and it starts. It's proof enough that the 32-bit emulation works. It's obviously just a case of getting it configured, maybe, or tweaking something, which, as I said at the beginning of these videos, I don't know Wine well enough to be able to do that. What we'll do is I'll have a look, see where that's installed at. I presume it's under my computer. See. Files, yeah, there it is. Okay, what I might do is see about running it. Oh, this doesn't show breadcrumb. Okay, so let's go to CD, CD. I had to think where I was there for a moment, and I've got no tab, so dir cd edit mark. Oh yeah, this seems like the old. This doesn't seem like the Windows 10 version of the command prompt, so I'm not sure exactly how this works, how the versioning works, how the emulation works, but that's just me. So cd factorio bin cd win32, and we should have the Factorio binary there. So I'll run Factorio from here and see if there's any further information. Crash handler. Looks like that wrapped around there. So it's the DirectX it crashed in. As far as I can see. So let's try one CFG. See if there's any options within this. Oklahoma, yeah, that's the font, isn't it? Right, no, there doesn't seem to be anything there, so I don't really know how to modify this. I guess I could try a different version of Windows. I think Windows 10 came out about the time of this application. Let's try Windows 8.1. See if that has any bearing. No, it's still crashing, so I'm not sure why that is. As I say, it's something about the 32-bit system maybe that it can't cope with memory. There may be some configuration possibly for Factorio. to reduce the video memory usage. It does say high there, so whether that's something that could be tweaked. Let's try loading that in Notepad, see if no, can't drag and drop. No, I'm not sure if you can even change the settings if it's a config. I can't remember now. So it's I believe there are command line options you can send to Factorio, but anyway, the proof is that it can load. It's just some setting with wine or something or other that needs to be changed to enable that to work. Okay, so that's more or less it. As I've shown, the Factorio is a 32-bit program. It was running. Wine itself is running. So I'm happy with it. It's just the configuration. So I hope you've enjoyed this time going through installing GLFS on a native 32-bit processor and seeing a 32-bit Linux program running in Factorio, and then finally the wine and a partial run or partial execution of a 32-bit program running under wine. If you've enjoyed the videos, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and drop me a comment as well. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.